make you lose yourself.
So everyone, we've got Karan here from the Project Commie team, and we are going to go through some questions that the community has provided for me to kind of ask Project Commie. So thank you for joining me, Karan. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, wonderful. Man, I can't tell you guys, how awesome your project is, and these NFTs are just so cool, and the way that they just the visualizations look like they're going through some sort of warp speed. It's just the whole storyline behind it. So we'll kind of get into into some of that, the hunt for the unity, a droid's trail, some questions about trait groups, some questions on SpaceMon, and the whole 9 yards here. So if you would, just tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, etc., anything that you feel comfortable sharing with everyone.
So the Kami team is basically just me and my brother. Very, very small team. We're both Indians by birth. We're both born in India. Right now, my brother lives in Japan. He lives and works over there, and I live in India. I probably will be moving very, very soon. But as of now, I'm in India, and we're both Indians by birth. He is more into the tech side, so he's the developer for the project, and I'm the artist. And I think Sorry?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As a basic intro to both of us. And yeah, it's a small team.
Yeah, that's a wonderful dream come true, man, to launch a really high level NFT project like this. Man, yeah, it's cool that you guys have that small team too. It's your brother, you can count on him. It makes things a lot easier. There's that old saying in business, don't do business with family. But I do think that when it comes to this stuff, it's like a match made in heaven for the most part. So what attracted you guys to build on Nervos?
Yeah, so initially we were on Ethereum. So when my brother first came up with the idea, he told me, let's do something with this, because he saw CryptoPunks. And I think at the time when he mentioned this to me, CryptoPunks, it was very early on in the NFT stage. And he said, this thing is going to blow up. It's going to be really big. So let's do something like this. Do you have any ideas? And we came up with this entire thing as it is now, the entire Project Kami idea with the SpaceMon and the clues and the hunt for the unity. But the biggest problem with the Ethereum blockchain that still persists is that, you have this gas fee for everything. So whenever you're transferring anything, you make any transaction on the blockchain, and you have to pay a gas fee. And every single Kami NFT generates a steady yield of SpaceMon. So that's a daily yield of SpaceMon, which means that you can imagine how many transactions that would be for 10,000 NFTs. And every time you need to request a clue or submit a request, that's again, your gas fees just keep piling up. So when we looked at all that stuff, it just didn't seem feasible really to run on the Ethereum blockchain, because I didn't do the exact math around it, but it would have just been super expensive, and there would have been no way to some people right now, they try to time their sale so that you time it in such a way that you don't pay that much of a gas fee. But with a daily yield and people submitting answers, requesting clues at random times, I don't know. It didn't seem feasible, and that's why we moved to Nervos, where we don't have these problems with gas fees.
Yeah, thank you, and that's a great point you make. With these high gas fees, just kind of comes more problems. There's this higher barrier of entry, and it really limits the amount of participation enthusiasts can partake in. And so yeah, that's wonderful. The gas fees, I definitely hear you on that. I love buying NFTs, even on OpenSea, but yeah.
I think it's also like restrictive to like creators because it kind of limits. I mean, a lot of people are just playing slowly with the ideas. You're just doing images, but I mean, we're talking about computers here, which can do so much, right? Like you can do so much more. But if you have a gas fee for every single transaction that
Mm,
keeps going up, it restricts creators as well. Because at some point they're going to be thinking, "Oh, we can't do this because it's going to be too expensive."
man, yeah, that's just something daunting to even start thinking about. For sure. So I got another question. So what has the experience been like working with Nervos? Have they been easy or hard to work with? How's the team over there?
Oh, they're super friendly, very helpful. They have like that Discord, and anytime you have any doubts, like somebody is always there to help out and clear it up. So that's been really helpful, especially because Nervos is like such a new blockchain in the NFT space, and we are the first large collection in the space. So that brings about like so many challenges with it, right? Like being the first team to launch. Like I mean, but yeah, thankfully the Nervos team, the team of developers, the entire community really has been like quite helpful, quite forthcoming with their answers, and especially with the tech stuff. And
Mhm.
I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm the artist and my brother's the developer. So I won't mention too much of like the tech stuff because I basically don't know too much about it. Like yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, I know a couple of the devs over at Nervos, just wonderful people, very smart. So I kind
Mm.
of figured that would be the answer, uh, that you would give. Um, it's just kind of another question here. So, uh, uh, from conception, how long does it take to spin up a project like Kami from like the time you first broke ground to like now, where we have a launch date coming up here in a week or so? Is
Yeah, roughly a week, 27th of Jan. So like 8 days, give or take a week.
okay.
In terms of how long, so development took some time again because it's the first, it's the first large project on the Nervos blockchain. But any future projects will be able to get to this stage much faster because we
Hmm.
plan to like share the code and just make it so much more inclusive, right? Like so we hope that the development stage will go faster for future projects that hope to launch on the Nervous network. With regards to the artwork, that's like something very, very subjective because truth be told, you can create a 10,000 NFT project or 20,000 or 50,000. You can do it in a day also if you wanted to. It's really not that hard if you're looking. I mean, I don't like. Yeah, there are a lot of projects out there which you can just see it and this has just been like created in like a day. Like pay
Yeah.
somebody on Fiverr, get it done. Like it's a rip off, offer, rip off, offer, rip off, which is where are you at that point really? Like, but that being said, it is a subjective thing. You can take as little time or as much time as you want with it because that's how art works, right? You can spend a day or you can spend like 10 years also. So that
Oh,
the art part is subjective. The development part, we hope will get much faster.
yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Project Kami, is a true pioneer for this space on Nervo. So, just by you launching this grand scale NFT project will definitely help other NFT artists and other projects come to fruition that much faster. So, yeah, I do admire that you kind of went through the ringer and helped kind of work out the kinks alongside Nervo. So that's awesome. Let's see here. So we do know, let's see here. Do you have any future plans to return to Nervos to build other NFT projects, or is that something that you
Yeah,
could shed a little light on if you
yeah.
guys do?
So no, definitely. So there's two aspects to this. One is the SpaceMon, which is the native token of the platform. So SpaceMon is set to generate for every Kami NFT for like the next 10 years at least. As long as you hold on to the Kami NFT, every day you're going to get a deposit of 83 SpaceMon. You get a bonus while the competition is going on, while the hunt for the Unity is going on. But for like a long time you still get a small amount of space on, and that's important because we do plan to have like future drops to kind of build up the Kami lore. And to make it like beneficial for people who have purchased this initial, the first project Kami launched, right? SpaceMon will play a very important role in that, because we will make it so that if you hold SpaceMon, then you're privy, you have access to like future drops, like maybe early access. Maybe you get like, maybe you can use the SpaceMon to buy it. We haven't worked out the details of it,
Okay.
but basically the SpaceMon will give you like access to that club, so to speak, like,
Okay.
yeah. And just again, like the second part of it is that it really depends on the launch, because we don't want to make big promises in the air saying, oh, we'll do this, we'll save the world, like, it does depend. I mean, we're just like middle class guys with who work jobs as well. This is not like our full-time thing. So a lot of it does depend on how much traction this project gets. Like, if we get a good reception for it, then yeah, definitely it incentivizes us like to do something. I mean, not just incentive, we need that to kind of like move forward,
Yeah.
really.
That's understandable. 100% get it. And I do love where you just went with that. If this is a success, you might be looking at second generation, third generation NFT projects that spawn from this. That's very cool. And that SpaceMon, yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Just out of curiosity, what can the community do right now to help Project Kami? Is there anything that we as the community could do to help you and your brother? Marketing, whatever.
Well, I
This.
think, yeah,
Oh, yeah, go
I
ahead.
think just involvement is like the main thing, really. Like, I see like the successful projects, like, whether it's the Cool Cats or the Bored Apes. I think the community just really believed in the project, and they got out there and they were talking about it a lot, which is what leads to this kind of growth, in my opinion. Like, I think right now the Nervous community is really great, very, very friendly. And we're at like a very early stage in it, so understandably, maybe like, people are a bit nervous, so not many people speak that much. Many people are getting onto social media for the first time. So my belief is that as a community, we support each other, actually.
Mhm.
It's not just about supporting Project Kami or supporting this one DAO or whatever. Like, it's about supporting everybody who trades in CKB, everybody who holds CKB, and every project that takes part is a part of the Nervous network. Whether you invest in it or not, like, you support it, you share it, because somebody in your network may invest in it. I may share something about Daruma. I may not think it's cool, but somebody in my network may be like, wow, that's exactly what I was looking for. And I follow like everybody in the Project Kami Discord if they share their Twitter, because everybody grows together in that way. That's how the network gets built. We all support each other. I think that's the main thing, really. And we
Yeah.
all support each other's projects as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And the Nervos Network community, the CKB folks. I mean, it is such a wonderful community. Really a tightly knit group. It kind of seems like on Twitter, at least, everybody who's into CKB knows everybody. So it's kind of a wonderful thing. I'll say this: it's one of the top more undiscovered communities I think that are out there, and that'll change in time for sure. So now let's talk about the hunt for the unity. And can you kind of talk about how treasure hunters can find clues to the riddle, stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's a great question, really, and I really like it, because it's something that I want people to understand how to play, so that everyone has like a fair chance at it. When I created these NFTs, when we made these artworks, right, I thought it'd be cool if we hide some things in it. You hear about artists doing this a lot, like the Renaissance artists and stuff. Da Vinci is the most famous for doing this, but a lot of artists did it. You hide like certain things. So I thought, like, my brother and I, we thought like it'll be cool to like hide riddles in it, and then maybe form like a sort of treasure hunt where you answer all the riddles, and then you get like 14 phrase, what is it called, like a seed phrase.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's basically the hunt for the unity. So in a nutshell, throughout the Kami collection of NFTs, there are 14 riddles that are hidden in Some of the portraits, not all the portraits have riddles. Some of the portraits have riddles, and you need to find all these 14 riddles, and you need to answer them, and you need to arrange them in the right order, and then you enter them on the Project Kami portal. Like, there's a place where you can enter it, and if you enter the right seed phrase, you unlock the rarest portrait in the series, which we thought was a really cool way to like gamify the distribution process. And you also get 10% of all the sales, which is just cool. Like, I mean, yeah, which is also incentive. Like, I mean, if we do really well, then somebody, at least one person from the community will win like big, right? Like, which I think is like really cool.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I mean, I just love how you guys incorporated that aspect of this treasure hunt where there's a big prize at stake here.
Yeah.
If you want to participate, and anybody can participate. So that's awesome. Let's just kind of move on to the price of the commies random distribution and the trait sniping prevention. And are you allowed to disclose a price tag that these commies will be at launch, or is that going to be some sort of auction style, or is it going to be like a buy it now?
So we've actually announced the price on our Twitter. It's 5,555 CKB for one Kami NFT. And with that, you get you get one still image, you get one animated seamless loop, which is the videos which everyone sees on Twitter and stuff. But you also get a still image with that. And you get, if you buy it within the first week of sale, you get 30,000 SpaceMon as a bonus. And then apart from that, a single Kami NFT allows you to take part in the hunt for the Unity. You don't need to buy like 14 or like even buy 2. You can buy just one. Like, so it's a ticket of like 5,555 CKB, but it could win you like 10% of all the sales and even the rarest portrait if you put your time into it. Like, which is, again, I think that's one of the cool things that we try to incorporate in it. Minimal entry fee, basically, for a big payoff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely plan on picking up a few, and especially at that that 5,555 CKB price level. That's a great entry. I mean, I'm definitely going to grab a few of them myself. And the other thing that I wanted to kind of talk about was trait sniping, and I love how you guys incorporated this in as well, because a lot of NFT projects like that I've been involved with and that I've purchased, like their NFTs, normally by the time I get there are no rare ones left, and it's just like slim pickings. Like, you're looking to pick up stuff at the bottom floor level prices that you just kind of hope will go up in price or whatever. So I love how you guys incorporated that in. And can you talk about that a little bit? How that works?
So it's not like it's a big secret or anything, but the person who would be able to explain this better would be my brother, because he's the developer. But I do remember him mentioning that he really thought of all this stuff. Like, I mean, I remember him telling me, people are going to be like, looking at the contract and they're going to like figure out like, if I buy exactly at this time, I'm going to get this trait, and I look for the rarest thing. And he said people will do this, and I was like, okay, I mean, I don't know, but I take your word for it. Like, and that's why if I'm not mistaken, that's why the reveal period is there, so that you don't know which Kami you get. You don't know which Kami NFT that you're going to get for at least 1 week. So when you're buying it blind, basically. And for 1 week, you're just buying blind. And that's done to prevent trait sniping, so that there are like certain Kami that are rarer than other Kami. Like, for example, the Voiden, there are only 100 of those. And the Shinikami, there are only 500 of those. And each rank and class have like a different population. So some Kami are rarer than others. And to kind of prevent people from like just scooping up all the rarest Kamis, this blind period was like introduced.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was definitely going to ask about those Voiden and the Shinikamis as well. But yeah, that's cool how there's limited levels of those. That's awesome. And so the random distribution stuff. So So every week there's going to be a random amount available. Is that right? Or
No. It opens for sale like on the
oh
27th. The whole population is open for sale.
oh
There are totally like around 20,000 Kami portraits, well, 19,997 Kami portraits, but only 9,999 will be available for sale.
gotcha.
So the remainder of those are just there to kind of make this hunt for the Unity harder. It's just like adding more places to look, like adding more stuff for people to look at, like but only 9,999 will be sold, and they all open for sale at the same time. There's no whitelist. Everybody's free to buy it at the same time, at
Okay.
the same price. Everything is just like as equal as we try to make it as equal as possible.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about your guys' project is that you take that into consideration. Trying to create that fair playing field for NFT art enthusiasts to really take part in. Do you guys have a merchandise store or anything like that that's going to go
No,
live? Or?
not yet. Like
Okay.
again, this. So, like I said, like one reason why we wanted to try and make it like a very even playing field is because we're both middle class guys. We're
Yep.
not like rich or like have like rich parents or whatever, and we believe that blockchain is something that kind of hopefully will kind of level that playing field.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's just like our core belief and stuff. Like so. That's why we've tried to like make the project equal. And to answer your question about the merge stores, like again, all this stuff costs cash to do, and we're just like really like bootstrapped right now. So like I
Mhm.
said, if we get good traction, then I would love to do. I'm already working on some stuff like augmented reality stuff,
Okay.
for which is again why there's an image and a video for the Kami NFT. If you know about augmented reality, you have like an image and you have like an event. So you point the camera at an image, and it triggers an event. Like so, my one of my initial thoughts is that we hope that you can see this art in the real world, where people can get like a printout of like their own Kami NFT, and you hang it in your house, and there's an app, and you point your phone at the portrait, and you get this whole thing with the explosion of the stars, but it comes out of the frame.
Oh,
The videos gets triggered, and you see the stars shooting out. Like I think it looks so cool, like and I've
wow.
done like a few mock-ups, but it's you can only do so much with like limited funds.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I hear you there. Man, what you just described there would just be so crazy. You know, you said I'm half tempted just to get a couple digital picture frames and throw them up in my studio or something, and just have the commies that I buy just kind of play on repeat, just because they're just so beautiful. I think. Um, so after people buy these NFTs, will they be able to store them in the regular CKB Nervos network, NFT wallets, or is this something that can only be stored or bought and sold through your website or the Kami website? Or
So, as per my understanding, this is a layer two NFT. So, as per my understanding, you can store this on your MetaMask.
yep, okay,
Yeah, as in you use MetaMask to like sign the initial few contracts, but there'll be more documentation regarding this. It'll all come out on mainly in our Discord. I'd recommend everyone to join the Discord, because my brother, the developer, will be putting out all this stuff. You should be able to store it on MetaMask. You should be able to store it on, I think, Neuron Wallet is what's mainly used on Nervos, but it should be storable in all these places. But again, like I don't want to give out wrong information, really. Like
yeah, for sure, I hear you. And that's kind of what I thought too. That these are just, we'll be able to move them around like any other NFT. So we'll kind of talk about the trait groups, then maybe we'll talk a little bit about the SpaceMon, and then we'll get into the droid's tail, and then kind
mhm.
of wrap this interview up. But what is the rarest trait group available as
So
far
the
as the class and
yeah,
symbol rank and stuff like that?
the Voidin is the rarest trait group, and after that it's the Shinikami. After that, I think it's like Air rank one. I can't be real, because the Voidin and Shinikami are like really, really. I mean, Voidin there's just 100 of them, and Shinikami there's just like 500 of them. And then the next one, it's like the next smallest population is like around 1,200 or something.
Okay.
So there's quite a significant difference over there, and these two look like really distinctly unique, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, these two are like the rarer ones in the entire series.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That is cool. And then let's see here. Bear with me one second. Let's talk a little bit about SpaceMon, the native token of Project Commie. And like you mentioned earlier, this sounds like a token that might be able to, be used with future projects. So there's definitely, an incentive to hold your commies and accrue that SpaceMon. But at this point, is there a way to trade the SpaceMon, or is it just kind of goes into your bank and you can't touch it? Are you able to talk about that at all?
Yeah,
Or?
we've been asked this question before, like, and so initially we designed SpaceMon as a token to really incentivize people to hold, and I think that's very very important because if you keep flipping NFTs like really fast, they lose their value. NFTs
Mhm.
and any asset really they gain more value if you hold them for longer, right? And you build up more hype around it, and you share it more, and you give it more visibility, especially with artwork, right? So SpaceMon was designed so that people hold their NFTs and kind of like hype it up more. As of now, again, to answer the question, I'm not aware of any way to like trade SpaceMon as such. Like, I don't think that's possible as yet, but who knows, like really, like, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. And so the SpaceMon supply, is that limited or an unlimited supply, or do you know any of those details?
it's limited, but there's a huge supply. It's around like 8 billion or something. So there's a
Okay.
lot of SpaceMon, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's see here. So let's talk a little bit about the droid's tail. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, on the Kami project or the Project Kami website, there is an area that tells this droid's tale. And I read the whole thing, and it was just such a unique story. And I just love how this droid was just kind of drifting through space and kind of, looking for life forms and stuff like that. But then develops like some sort of a conscience almost and self-awareness. Can you tell me how you guys came up with that? Because it's a wonderful story. I kind of felt like I was reading some sci-fi book or something, but I got really connected to it quick, and especially how you guys presented the story. Through day 45, I was reactivated, for example, and now I'm here, and then 200 days later, there's another journal entry from this droid. How did you guys come up with that? Because I'm so fascinated by that.
Yeah, so this is like interesting actually. So, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I made the artwork, and one of the things that I wanted to do with the artwork was I believe that art should inspire and like give people ideas. So I mean, I showed it to my brother and stuff, and I said, okay, this is what it is, and like all that. And he actually is the one who wrote the story, like, and I had no input over there. The entire droid's tale is his story and his interpretation of the kami thing. So when he showed me that, I thought, okay, that's cool. And then that's why there's a to be continued over there, because we're both kind of hoping that other people, like, you may have your own interpretation of what
Yeah.
kami is, like, for me actually, interestingly, I don't see it necessarily as like a space thing.
Okay.
I see them as like I don't know, just like a regular fantasy kind of thing, not necessarily like sci-fi.
Sure.
Which is why if you see like the traits on top, it's like there's very little stuff related to space, but at the same time, it's open to interpretation really. So to come back to that, like the Droid Tale was written by my brother. He loves like sci-fi stuff, and he saw the his interpretation of the kami are like the elemental computers,
Okay.
which is essentially like what blockchains are as well. Blockchains as well are like computers basically, right?
Hmm.
So kami are like elemental computers that were built like by this ancient civilization. So it's like, imagine having a computer the size of like a planet or something, right? Like a massive, super, super, super smart computer. And that's what a kami is, like in his interpretation. And somebody else out there might have their own interpretation, and they're welcome to like write a story, build up on the lore of it. Once you buy a kami NFT, like you can do whatever you want with it, and you can make your own fiction out of it. Like that's why, sorry, I just want to finish it. That's why it's called the kami verse.
Okay.
Because it's like it's a universe, like, and you can make your own fictions out of it and your own stories. And yeah, like that's something that I'm really excited to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to kind of piggyback off that too, like, you know, it was really insane because like when I was reading that Droid's Tale and just, some other stuff, like it just really lets your imagination just truly run wild. Something that you don't get necessarily from a low quality NFT project. So, you definitely can see the amount of effort and planning, just the careful crafting that you guys have really put into this project. It shows tremendously. So I just wanted to compliment you guys on this project because I think it's absolutely awesome. I think the structure, the way you guys have this set up, from launch to the artwork, which is absolutely wonderful. I think this is going to hit off, and I wish nothing but the best for you guys. But really, that's all I got for today's interview with you. Do you have anything else that you would like to add or let the community know about?
Yeah, I mean, just follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, just the usual things. Even if you don't plan on buying, just like enter, like check out what it's about, find out about it, get to know the people, and yeah, we'd love to see you in the Discord and just like chat with you, hear what people think about it. Like,
yeah. Absolutely. And I'll go ahead and link Project Commies socials in the description and in a pinned comment here. I'll try to. Usually, I try to get into the Discord every once in a while. I just got so much stuff going on, but yeah, I'm kind of like a ghost lurking around Discord for the most part. No, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kiran, for being here with us today. I know it's getting late where you're at in India.
That's cool.
So I just want to thank you for your time and best of luck to you and your brother as this project launches. So I couldn't be happier for you.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. And like I said, I wish my brother could also be a part of this, but it's super late where he's at. He's in Japan, as I mentioned. But thank you for having me. And yeah.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. So, folks, I will go ahead and link Project Commies socials, like I said before. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day wherever you're at in the world. We'll see you guys on the next video.
Make you lose yourself.